Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very interesting discussion, which is about all you need to know about Delivery IPO. Yeah, after a long time, I'm late by like 2 to 3 minutes. There was some technical issue, and immediately I can. But this, I could see some comments. I guess already 2 minutes late, Sumit. And still, I did not get that late OP wala marka. But so I'm glad that I did not get that overpowered wala mark. Chalo. That was just a quick hi, hello to everyone. And without any further ado, let us quickly move on with the discussion. There are people who are saying that start quickly. We have to go to Panvel and अभी क्यों Panvel अभी क्यों जाना है तुमको? ठीक है. Anyways, चलो. So we as usual, like we discuss any IPO. We are going to discuss the delivery IPO in the same way. We'll try to understand the basic business of the company. Then we'll try and understand about what are the future plans of the company, what the company is going to do with whatever IPO proceeds that they're going to get from the investors. We'll try and understand some important points about their financial statements as well, because when I was reading, it had a lot of adjustments. So even I thought, too much to read. So if someone can simplify it for me, it could be really easy, right? And plus, we are also going to understand about few more important points. Abhi nahi bata deti, theek hai? So that you watch it till the end. And to explain about all these things, we have Amit Agarwal sir, and he is the CFO of the company. And I think the most important, and I guess the highlight point here, is that he has been with the company for 10 out of 11 years of the company. So to be honest, I mean, that's an amazing achievement, an amazing thing. The company is really lucky. Uh, so without any further ado, let's welcome Amit Agarwal. And hello, sir. How are you? Hi, Amit. How are you? Sorry.
Thank you, Rachana. I'm very, very well. Thank you for
There's
hosting me
an
on your
echo
show.
at your end, Amit. Have you logged in from two devices?
No, I'm not logged in from my device. Just give me a minute. I'll try it and pair my earphone. Is it now?
Yeah, much better, much better.
Okay, excellent.
Cool.
Thank you, Rachana,
Amit, I
for
should say that these days,
and
because I'm an employer as well, so having an employee for like 10 out of 11 years, wow, that's such a big thing. So congratulations on that. And any opening remarks?
thank you. Thank you, Rachana, first of all, for hosting us, and a very warm welcome to all your viewers and being up so late to hear our story.
So
Thank you.
without any further ado, shall we start with the base
Yes.
level of questions, right? So when I was I was reading about the RHP. I was just trying to figure out the very first basic question as to what are going to be the main objectives of the money that you intend to raise. Of course, as I could see that there was a portion of OFS and some fresh issue. So if I'm talking about fresh issue, I saw that there are two words which are used. One is organic growth that the company is going to do with the money raised, and one is inorganic growth, right? So if you could just simplify these two for our viewers, that what are you exactly going to plan with this organic growth versus inorganic growth as well?
Sure, Rachana. So logistics is a very scale-sensitive business. If you look at large economies around the world, like US, European economies, or even China, they have very, very large logistics companies. In US, FedEx, UPS, which are the two largest logistics companies, they are about 50 to 100, $150 billion in size. Even Europe, DHL is about the same size, somewhere between 50, 100, some number around that. And look at China, there are several companies in the size of 5 to 10, $15 billion that have come up in just last 10, 15 years.
Sure.
India has never had a logistics company of this size or scale, even remotely. Delivery, which is now India's largest and fastest growing company, in 9 months of FY22, we did only about 5,170 crore and inching towards 7,000 crore for the full year of FY22. We are less than $1 billion in revenue for a company for the size and scale of our country, right? So we will continue to invest in building scale in our existing business lines with the organic investments. These investments are primarily two types. One is automation, robotics, and material handling.
Okay.
In this, we invest in parcel sortation systems, bag sortation systems, truck loading conveyors, weighing
Mm-hmm.
scales, uh,
Mm-hmm.
material handling equipments, many such things we invest in.
Mm-hmm.
And second thing we invested is in technology. Okay.
Okay.
There are actually three important things in logistics businesses.
Mm-hmm.
One is uh, building under which you operate.
Correct.
Second is fleet through which you move your goods.
Mm-hmm.
And third are people who help you enable the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't invest in fleet and land building. Okay,
Got it.
I'll come back to it later. We
Mm-hmm.
invest in very high quality automation and technology to maximize the efficiency of the three inputs and orchestrate the efficient use of these three inputs. So we will
Mm-hmm.
continue to invest in automation, robotics, hardware, and software and data products under our organic investments.
Got it.
Under inorganic, we will look to acquire companies
So,
which are
sorry to cut you. Just to summarize for our viewers, I think the moment you're talking about organic growth, it's more about investing the money raised in technology, so that the three lines that you mentioned, land, then people, and the fleet. Out of that, just to have a good coordination between all these three, you're investing more and more in technologies. That's all.
technology and automation,
And
hardware automation.
automation. Got it.
Yes.
Going to inorganic.
In inorganic, we will look to buy companies which are of certain size and scale and are similar in our business nature. If you look at
Mhm.
Spot On Logistics, we bought in August 2021. It
Mhm.
was a significantly large PTL player in the country,
Mhm.
one step ahead of delivery in terms of revenue size, and it complemented well to consolidate the two businesses and gain a further scale, which made us
Mhm.
second largest express PTL player in the country.
Got it.
So we will look to do certain type of acquisitions where we will buy profitable companies. And
Mhm.
second type of companies in an organic will be capability based acquisitions, where there are small teams building on great products
Mhm.
which our customers can benefit and we can help scale them extremely well.
Got
So
it.
these are
Got
the areas where we will invest in organic and inorganic. We do not intend to make any VC style investing of
it. Mhm.
insignificant stakes or unrelated businesses.
Got
That's
it.
not our track record, and we do not intend to do it. We neither intend to buy land or building. We
Mhm.
own a very handful of just 300 out of 8,000 trucks that operate for us. These
Mhm.
trucks are owned for the purpose of seeding new truck types in the market.
Mhm. Got it. When I was also reading about the IPO, I found that the IPO size has also been reduced from roughly 7,500 crores to somewhere around 5,200 crores, which it is right now. So, was there any reason for the reduction in the size?
So if you look at the 7,500 crore, almost 2,500 crore was offer for sale from the existing shareholders of the company,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they have reduced it by half because they want to remain invested for much longer period. If you look
Okay.
at their offer for sale, in any case, it is only about 3 to 4% of their total holding in the company, which is not material.
Mhm.
Amongst the management, the CEO, chief business officer, CFO, nobody is selling any shares in the offer for sale. They were not
Mhm.
earlier, nor now. And in the primary issuance, it was earlier 5,000 crore and now it is 4,000 crore. If you again look at our track record between the time we filed our DRHP and now when we filed our RHP,
Mhm.
our economics of profitability has improved, and we did not feel the need to raise 5,000 crores, so we reduced it to 4,000 crore.
Got it. But then the point that you made right now about the economics or overall financials right now, I could see that yes, there is a significant improvement if I'm talking even about the PAT numbers. See, I'll not talk about the revenue numbers; they are solid. It can be very well seen. Right now, all the retail individual investors have become a little bit skeptical. In Marathi, we say that एकदा जीभ भाजली की आपण ताक पण फुंकून पितो. So the simple interpretation of that is that अगर एक बार जुबान जल गई ना तो हम छाछ भी फूक फूक के
That's been
पियेंगे.
good. Yeah.
Right. So because whatever people have understood about your company, they normal retail individual investors are getting a feel that yes, you are also a kind of a technology company. It's not a pure logistics wala game. So in that case, could your business be compared with all these new age companies who have you know not done pretty well in the last few months. They've gone pretty bad in this entire fall.
It's a good question, Rachna ji. I'll break this into two parts. First, I'll
Okay.
explain how uh, we are different in terms of being a technology business. We are actually a
Mhm.
logistics business, which is immensely powered by technology.
Mhm.
Um, and without specifying any names, delivery addresses a $300 billion non-discretionary market. We are not changing consumer habit. If you have produced a good, you need to move that good. There is
True.
not there is there is not a need less, there is not a need more. आप
Mhm.
logistics ना ज्यादा कर सकते हो ना आप कम कर सकते हो. जो required movement है आपको उतना ही करना है.
Sure.
ठीक है. So it is a non-discretionary market. We are
Mhm.
not changing consumer behavior or consumer pattern. That's number
Got
one. Number two is we are not spending money in customer acquisition cost.
it. Mhm.
Okay, we do not have large marketing expenditure or anything of that sort either.
Mhm.
Okay. Number three, I will come to is our adjusted EBITDA.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, you are a CA, Rachna ji. You know there are certain non-cash items which are there in a company in a certain stage of its life. So, for example, when a company is privately held, it issues CCPS
CCPS.
shares to its shareholders, which may have fair value loss based on certain accounting standards. These are non-cash losses.
Mhm.
And similarly, when companies are privately held, shareholders create certain incentive structures for management to drive performance. So
Mhm.
there are certain incentives that they may pay to the management employees. Now, these items are completely settled before the DRHP is filed because that is the right corporate governance to do. We cannot have any of these things going forward into the public market because the new shareholders of the company are buying a new future of the
Got it.
company.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you closely look at our RHP, you will find that nearly 300 crore was a fair value loss, which was a non-cash cost in our
Mhm.
P&L.
Mhm.
Almost 178 crore was the one-time incentive paid to the management, which came back to the company by management buying more shares in the company. So management
Mhm.
doubled down its stake into the company.
Got it.
Okay.
Mhm.
And nearly 216 crore is a ESOP cost for 9 months, which is a non-cash cost. It is a dilution to the cap table,
Mhm.
but it's not a cash cost related to the business. So if you exclude just these three items, that
Mhm.
891 crore of PAT that you see, and you adjust for the depreciation, you come
Mhm.
to minus 35 crore of adjusted EBITDA, or
Okay.
minus 0.7%. And
Got it.
I want to compare the same number 3 years ago, Rachna ji.
Mhm.
This number was minus 11.35% at a scale of 1650 crore rupees in revenue in FY19.
Mhm. Mhm.
So from 1650 crore in FY19, we have grown the business to 5,170 crores in 9 months of FY22,
Mhm.
while improving the profitability from minus 11.3% to minus 0.7%, growing three new line of businesses. The contribution of these businesses has grown from 300 crore to more than 2,000 crore in just 9 months of this
Got it.
fiscal.
Amit, like right now, because we are discussing over our channel, you have been kind enough to explain the adjustments in the profitability. Like the number which seems pretty big is actually not that big, right? Because of the non-cash expenses, it seems to be big, is what you're mentioning. But then,
Yes.
for again a retail individual investors, if this is something like a one-time thing which has a lot of adjustments, he or she can understand that. Going forward, do you see such adjustments repeating? Or these ideally should not repeat? It will be a plain vanilla kind of understanding for any retail individual investors कि भाई ये income है, ये expense है, इतना profit है. Will it be that easy for investors?
It will be that easy, except that there will be a ESOP cost there. See,
Okay.
we are a very high growth company. We grow somewhere between 48 to 55% rate. And we are not a promoter led company. We are a professionally managed company.
Hmm.
To incentivize the management and the employees. And I want to highlight, Rachna ji, that more than 600, 700 people, employees and delivery own stock options in the company. So you effectively have 600, 700 owners of the company alongside the shareholders of the company.
Mhm.
who work hard for the company, right? So this ESOP is a dilution to the cap table, which is already there present. We do not intend to create any new stock option pool over next 5 years. It is
Okay.
already there, sufficient for next 5 years.
Mhm.
So there is no business cost of having an ESOP. Okay,
Got it.
it's
Got
only
it.
an accounting entry of what the charge to the P&L is.
Absolutely.
But other
So,
than that, there is no fair value loss coming in. There is no exceptional one-time incentive bonus coming in.
mhm,
Compensation of the management team and compensation philosophy of the company is decided by the NRC, and
mhm.
NRC is a completely independent committee of the board.
Got it. So this was about the profitability. Can you throw some light on the cash flows of the company? Because even when I was trying to see the cash flows for the last, I can't recall immediately, but I guess last 1 or 2 years, and even right now, if I'm not mistaken, they are negative. So when can the shareholders expect them to go to positive cash flows? I know you can't do forward-looking statements, but maybe
Yes.
just a base guidance.
I'll I'll share two important data points. One, I have already explained the operating leverage from uh, uh, using automation and technology that we get on our manpower costs, on our real estate that we lease, and our vehicles that we operate more efficiently.
Mhm.
This is what leads to improvement in adjusted EBITDA, which is the true EBITDA of the company on a business level, from minus 11.3% to minus 0.7%.
Mhm.
And our objective is to continue to improve this adjusted EBITDA.
Mhm.
The second place of using the cash flows for the company is in investments that it make for its capacity expansion. As you
Got it.
saw, as I told you earlier, we make investments in automation and building scale in our facilities. A good way to look at it, Rachna ji, would be what is the capex we did as a percentage of revenue 3 years ago, and what do we do it today? Okay,
Mhm.
this number was almost 10% 3 years ago, and it has now come down to about 7.5
Mhm.
odd percent in FY 22, 7.5, 8%. And
Mhm.
as the business scales further and further and achieves a higher utilization level, you would expect this to move in the same direction.
Got it.
Okay. So these are the two key levers for business to become, cash flow positive, and
Absolutely.
it is my job to focus on this, on
True.
these levers.
True.
And
True.
third, as well, working capital. We have focused a lot. We have brought down our receivable days from 73 days to 51 days in last 2 years,
Mhm.
2 to 3 years, and we'll continue to focus on bringing the receivable days down as well.
Perfect. So just a quick plug-in I thought I should give for my video. Like he talked about receivable days right now. So for those who don't understand this concept of receivable days or something like a cash conversion cycle, basically, I do have a separate YouTube video on that. So if you didn't understand what he said right now, you go and check out the video on cash conversion cycle, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. Right now, we were talking about the profitability and the cash flows part. Uh, a similar a set of context which I would like to build in again is the rising crude oil prices right now. Everyone knows that it has like skyrocketed like anything. Of course, in the last few days, it has cooled off a bit. But you being primarily a logistics company, how do you see this crude oil cost impacting your profitability, and any specific measures that you take to ensure that this cost is, I mean, this is not a big hit for the company?
Yes, very important question, Rachna. As I said, logistics is a non-discretionary service. If you have produced a good, you need to move a good. Okay,
Mhm.
and hence, fuel is a cost to every service provider, and it is past part of their cost structure. Okay,
Mhm.
now what you need to look into two things. One is your contractual ability to pass back the input
Mhm.
increase in the cost to the customer,
Mhm.
and second, whether you have a relative advantage in your cost, because that is under your control.
Mhm.
Okay,
Correct.
now in our B2B business, almost all of our business is protected by diesel price hike clauses.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when the fuel price goes up, we increase the rate, a charge to our customers by a certain sensitivity, which is, or a certain salience that's already agreed. And
Okay.
when the fuel price goes down, we adjust it automatically downward, and same thing happens on the cost side.
Got it.
In our B2C business, which is express parcel business, we have
Mhm.
fair bit of contracts where we do have diesel price hike protection. But
Mhm.
the interesting thing, Rachna ji, is that between FY19 and FY22, diesel price has gone up from 65 rupees to 100 rupees nearly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And our charge to our customers, we have bought it down from 92 rupees a parcel to 72 rupees a parcel. So that is the extent of operating leverage we have driven in our
Mm.
operations and
Mm.
shared the efficiencies back with our customers. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Now, coming to the relative advantage I was talking to you about in our
Mhm.
cost structure, Delivery is the only company in the country which has 43, 46 feet tractor trailers to the extent of 60 to 100 odd trucks that we currently have in our network.
Mhm.
And we have done an enterprise agreement with Volvo to
Oh.
buy many more trucks, or our partners will buy these trucks for us.
Mhm. Mhm.
These trucks are far more fuel efficient on a per kg per kilometer basis than the standard 24, 20, 32 feet trucks that you have.
Got it.
We have a relative advantage versus other service providers,
Mhm.
because our diesel cost on per kg per kilometer basis is lower.
Mhm.
Second is, we talked about fuel. There is another very important aspect in inflation, which is wage inflation.
Mhm.
The general inflation in the market is going up, the wage inflation will also go up.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have I talked about automation that we are investing in.
Correct.
Okay. You would have seen in during Diwali period, lot of logistics companies posting 30,000 jobs, 40,000 new jobs
Mm.
being required. Delivery
Mm.
is not required to do that,
Mm.
because we have invested in automation to the extent that
Mm.
our dependence on manpower is much lower, and
Got
hence the salience of the manpower in our cost structure is lower.
it. Mm. Got it. Got it. Got it. Amazing. I think this was a very important point, and it's really amazing to know that in spite of such a sharp increase in diesel prices, you have been you have somehow managed this unit cost economics and brought down the per delivery cost significantly. So amazing point.
While improving
Uh,
our profitability.
true, true, true. So moving on to the final question, I can say I would not take a lot of your time. The final question is on the valuation. Uh, what I read in the RHP was that the company is demanding a 5.5 times valuation of the annualized sales, and because of which the valuation of the company comes around 35,000 crores. I also read about the company that you were mentioning right now, Spot on Logistics, which you have recently acquired. For that, again, I guess you have not paid the same multiple while acquiring that company. So, any specific reason why you have given this 5.5x ka multiple for value while valuing your own company?
It's a very important question, Rachna ji.
Mm.
And I want to start off from the point that I think first thing to calculate the EV by sales, uh, uh, the right thing for one to do would be to adjust it for cash, because we will have far more cash than any of our competitors, or maybe even all our competitors put together. We will nearly have somewhere around 800 to 900 million dollars in cash in bank,
Mhm.
whereas most
Mhm.
logistics companies will have much lower, substantially lower cash. So
Mhm.
when you adjust for it, our EV by sales multiple will be about 4.5 or 4.6 for an annualized period of FY22.
Mhm.
That's number one. Number two thing, Rachna, as you know, the investors value the company basis future earnings or future cash flows.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you have seen that in future earnings, future cash flows, growth is a very important factor that
True.
plays. The higher the growth, there is a higher potential for this.
Mhm.
And when you look at our growth rates, they are
Mhm.
substantially higher than any of our peers. Maybe you can look into some websites and you will find that most of the logistics companies in last 4 years have either listed companies have either degrown or grown below GDP growth rate.
Mhm.
Now, the important thing, Dashnaji, is that you would have seen our anchor list coming out
Mhm.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And you have seen the quality of the names there, and these are professional investors who know very sophisticated business modeling, financial modeling.
Mhm.
So, and based on what bankers discussed between themselves and these investors. They are the ones who recommended this valuation.
Got
I
got
want to allude to one point, Rachna ji, which you may even actually cover at some point in your story in future,
it.
is why growth companies, how growth companies can outperform traditional industries and disrupt traditional
Mm-hmm.
industries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you would have read Amazon versus Walmart story.
Mm.
Amazon was one-tenth the size of
Yeah.
Walmart 10
Got
years ago. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
Amazon had no profit on its P&L. And Walmart had 5-6% profit. Today, 10 years later, uh, Amazon has grown 10x from that point, and Walmart has grown maybe 40-50% from where they were earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And during the same period, uh, Amazon's profit has grown to 5-6%, while um, Walmart margins are lower than that of Amazon. And this has
Mm-hmm.
now reflects in their valuation and share prices as well.
Got it. Got it. Cool. Perfect. If you are fine, there are a few questions which my viewers are asking. If maybe one or two questions you
Perfectly
want to
fine.
answer,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
most welcome.
Okay. Uh, the very first question has been asked in which one of our viewer mentions that since we are in a recession, that has been declared by my viewer, we are in a recession. Okay. What does Mr. Agarwal think about coming with an IPO in a recession? If I were to maybe rephrase that, like I mentioned, right now the markets are not in a very good mood. Any specific reason why you thought of coming up with the IPO in this season?
Rachna ji, when Delivery started, the founders of Delivery wanted to take this company public in 10 years.
Hmm.
So we are 1 year late. On the timing bit, there are two, three things. One is that we as management team are building expertise, have built expertise, and will continue to build stronger expertise in building a supply chain and logistics business, not in predicting what is a great time or a bad time in a market. Now we understand what the market sentiment is, but we also understand what our customers want. Today, Delivery works with nearly all businesses we think of, which
Got
commonly comes across our mind.
it.
And once we are a public company, majority or all our customers will be very, very comfortable and very peaceful about the compliances, disclosures, corporate governance of our company. For last 5 years, we have tried to behave like a public company by having an independent board, etc. But it's not a public, we're not a public company until we are a public company.
Got
So it's important for our customers to have this comfort, and hence we want to go public.
Got it. Got it. And I think just to add on to his point, I believe that it is pretty difficult for any company to time an IPO. Is even what I feel that market conditions ऐसे change हो जाते हैं, so becomes a little bit difficult as well as what even I believe. So moving on, there's one more good question which has been asked. Uh, what are the various e-commerce platforms that you have tied up with? I think the second question is much more relevant, is what I feel. What's unique about your company when comparing with your competitors?
A very good question.
Hmm.
So I can't name the companies, but I can tell you we work with pretty much everyone in e-commerce in India. What is unique about our business is that we first of all operate a common interoperable infrastructure and technology across all our business lines. When you think of any logistics company in India, you will think they're monolines. They are either a express part truckload company, either they are a parcel logistics company, or they are a full truckload company, or they are just focused on cross border, or they maybe have a special product such as air.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody offers an integrated services spanning across all type of services using both air and ground shipping at a
Mm-hmm.
scale that Delivery does. Okay.
Got it.
Now, why this is important, there are multiple reasons for it. One
Mm-hmm.
is that the requirements of customers have become very sophisticated for two, three reasons. One is that with online commerce growing, the competition between online and offline has increased. And offline
Mm-hmm.
started creating newer customer experience, more frequent inventory replenishment. Customer have in general become more demanding.
Got it.
People are now getting food in 10 minutes, so you can understand their for things.
Yeah.
Then then the second aspect in this is GST. Earlier, businesses were required to have multiple warehouses across the country, 27, 30 warehouses across the country. Now they used to optimize for tax.
Mm-hmm.
Now they
Mm-hmm.
need to optimize for supply chain costs, inventory
Got.
carrying costs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is why the need of the businesses has have evolved very rapidly in last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is what we deliver using a common interoperable infrastructure and technology to our customers, where customers can plug into n number of services or all the services at the same time. And this is the reason why we have more than 58% of our revenue coming from customers who use two or more services of ours.
Got it. Got it.
Now, this has a superior advantage for us in unit economics or scale, because when
Mm-hmm.
we offer all the services, okay, and we are number one in e-commerce parcel, we
Mm-hmm.
are number two in express PTL, we are one of the largest in supply chain services. The combined scale of it is far larger than anybody has in their monoline business. So our
Mm-hmm.
ability to reduce the cost with the scale, improving scale, is far superior.
Got it. Got it. Amazing. Wow. So it's been more than half an hour that we have been discussing about this IPO. Thanks a lot, Amitji, for this wonderful interaction. You took out time from this busy schedule, and we also took two questions from our subscribers. There are some more questions, but few of them are forward looking, so I'm just avoiding to ask these. Uh, Thanks a lot once again. Any closing
Thank you,
thoughts, Amitji?
Rachana. Thank you. Thanks to
Thank
all
you.
the
Thanks a
viewers
lot,
as well. Bye bye. Good night.
and all the best for your IPO, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. We did ask a lot of questions, but because now he's not there on the channel, I can tell you. Like for example, this question: will delivery consider going international anytime soon? So this is again a forward-looking question. What do I mean by that? We ideally should not be talking about anything which is not there in the prospectus. That's not allowed by SEBI. Okay, so that's why I did not ask this question. But I hope, anyways, you have enjoyed the stream. Of course, on the last day, that is on the 13th, I'll try my best to do a live stream. If not, I'll surely update on the community tab that if I'm going to apply for this IPO or not. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.